Hi everyone, welcome back to another quick tips video on Davinci Resolve, and today we're going to take a look at what I believe now to be the best way to work with log footage. We've had a couple of quick tutorials on color grading, and I think I've demonstrated a few things there working with log footage, but since I have recorded that, I've come up with what I believe to be a better method, so I wanted to share that with you. And so we've got a couple clips here that I shot recently in the country of South Sudan, some interviews. And if you know what log that you shot in, it allows you to take advantage of some of the built-in tools that come with Davinci Resolve. And I think it's better to actually work with predefined tools that are specifically designed to work with the log that you used when you shot the footage. Now, if you didn't shoot the footage, you might have to experiment a little bit to find the best solution. If you can't call up the videographer and find out what he shot in, hopefully you at least know the camera. But if you don't, you might have to spend a little bit of time when you first start working with the footage to try and determine what camera and what log was used to shoot the footage. But since I know that this was shot on a Canon R5C 10-bit 422 AVC in Canon Log 3, then that allows me to take advantage of some tools that was specifically designed for Canon Log 3. Now, if you're kind of new to DaVinci, you might say, well, where are those tools? I've never seen those before. And I actually didn't find them until just last week when I was working on an edit. Up until now, I'll show you what I've been doing. Let's just go to our color grading mode here. Maybe just to quickly show you what I usually do with log footage. I'll add a couple more nodes, and the easiest way to do that on the Mac is with Option S. Just add a couple more nodes there. I'll usually leave the first one neutral in case I want to add something later. On the second one, add some sharpening, especially if it's log footage. If you shot in Rec 709 and the sharpness was already baked in, you might want to be careful to add more sharpening here. But since I know that this was shot in log, I'm going to sharpen it up a little bit. And you can do that just by going over to this icon here. Now, when I hover over it, it says blur, but it's actually blur and sharpening. Just want to make sure that you've got the right one selected here. You've got blur, sharpening, and mist. Well, the center one is sharpen, and what I'll usually do is bring this down to about 47 to add my sharpness. Now, what I have been doing is on the third node, just right-click, go to LUT, and add a LUT that's been predefined here for Canon. But as you look at them here, you see that there's no LUT that's been defined for Canon Log 3. And what I've been using is Canon Log to Rec 709. And that does a pretty good job to get you started, but I always found that you had to kind of work with it quite a bit to get it to where you wanted it. I might have to add some saturation to it. And so you did have to really kind of fine-tune it in, just dial it right in for every clip that you wanted to work with. But for today, let's just concentrate on what I believe to be a better method than this. Let's delete this node and add another one. And this time we're going to go up to Effects. And what we're looking for is an effect called Color Space Transform. We'll drop that on our third node. This brings up some options here in this pop-up box, and it's the first four options here that we're going to change. The first of all is the inner color space, and this allows us to choose the camera that the video was shot on. And so we'll look for Canon, and sure enough, there's a Canon Cinema Gamut. So we'll start with that. It makes it quite saturated there, but remember we've got three more to add here. As we scroll down here, we see that we actually have Canon Log and Canon Log 2 and Canon Log 3 predefined here. And that's what I've been looking for. I've wanted something that actually says Canon Log 3 to work with the footage that I shot in Canon Log 3. And so we'll select that. You don't have to drop it on, you just select it. The next one we want to choose for the output color space, we want to choose, in most cases, for the types of videos that I'm doing, I'm going to Rec 709 color space. And really looking bold and saturated right now, but remember we've got one more setting. We're going to choose our gamma our output gamma, and we're going to select gamma 2.4. And that kind of brings it back to a good start here. To my eye, this looks still a little bit saturated, so we're going to drop that down. But everything else seems to be just about where you want it. You know, if you've shot it with a good exposure, by dropping on these predefined parameters, it is going to be very easy to work with. And if I have a lot of other footage that was shot in the same type of environment, what I'll probably do is now create a LUT based on this so we don't have to do all these 4 steps every time. But we'll maybe save that for another quick tips video. We could take a look at another interview here real quick. Add our sharpening, add our color space transform, add our 4 definitions here. And with those 4 applied right off the bat, it's looking pretty good. It might again need to back off on the saturation just a little bit, but there you have. I feel a lot more confident about my grading when I have actually been able to work with tools that have been professionally set for the log setting that I used when I filmed it. So there you have it, your quick tips on how to work with log footage. Hope you found it helpful. If so, give it a like. And if you haven't already done so, I invite you to subscribe to our channel for more quick tips on Davinci Resolve and other media skills. So long for today.